Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, whatever time you're watching this video. It's no news that Nigeria is going to the polls on the 25th of February 2023 to elect one of 18 candidates who are contesting for the presidency of this country. Um, there are by polls, by perception, about three or four candidates that are at the front line of this contest. One, in no particular order, one is Atiku Abubakar with his vice Okowa. We have Bola Tinubu Ahmed with his vice Shetima. We also have Obi Peter with his vice Ahmed Dati. We also have third fourth on the list, which is a bit disputed whether he has a lot of followership, is Rabiu Kwankwaso, who was former governor of Kano State. So each one of them has some agenda which he intends to run for this country for the next 4 years. I've taken time to go through the agenda of Atiku Abubakar as the first series. I'm also going to work on the other ones so that we can get the idea of what they are thinking of doing for us, and it will guide us in taking a decision on whom to vote on that day. So Atiku Abubakar and Ifeanyi Okowa are of the People's Democratic Party. Their document is called My Covenant with Nigeria, and it's about 74 pages. This is a very short review of the 78-page document for you to be able to understand what they are thinking of doing for Nigeria. And that will help you to vote for them or for another party if it doesn't fit your idea of the new Nigeria that we're all clamoring for. First, in their document, they actually listed the problems that they feel are at the front burner of Nigeria. The first of them is that Nigeria's national existence is threatened. People don't believe in the union, as we can see in the various groups openly declaring or challenging the continuous existence of Nigeria. You have the IPOB, you have the Western region, forgotten their name again. We have various groups that are actually crying for secession out of this country. Number two is the issue of insecurity, which has bedeviled the country since 20 or before 2015. It has metamorphosed into banditry, kidnapping, and so on. And they feel that is a very big problem which they think they need to resolve. We have the issue of poverty. Nigeria has been variously described as the poverty capital of the world. Over 50% or 60% of people in Nigeria are considered to be living under the poverty line. That will add up to with Nigeria's population of about 200 million. We that number will be about 110 million people. Also, they have identified also that public education has issues, that it's sick. It has so many children, it has left so many children out of school. According to UNICEF, I think about 12 million children are out of school. Most of them are in the northern part of Nigeria. And also, even within the school system, where people go and acquire those education, they feel that the skills that are acquired are not fit for the current challenges that we have in the country. So that needs to be reviewed. Uh, they also think that we have a faulty federal system uh, where it is said to be complex with the a lot of centralization. um, Decisions are central rather than at decisions taken at as it is convenient for either a state or a region. So they have also, in the next stage, tried to tell people how they're going to solve some of these issues. First among them, they are looking at the threat to national existence can actually be resolved via equity, justice, and dialogue between the diverse groups within the country. Also, they are looking at the insecurity which was described previously in the other slide, that very strong democracy will actually improve security. If you have good democratic institutions that are well managed, they also going to help to manage insecurity. They also looked at poverty. They said they're going to build a strong, resilient, and prosperous economy that creates jobs for Nigerians, which will disincentivize these. Which will help poverty and bring lots of people out of poverty. Also, the public education. They said they're going to adequately equip the public education system. Um, they're going to build new skills which are in tandem with the current requirements of the globe in terms of skills and then innovation. Um, in terms of the faulty federal system, they would want to allow the federating units to define their priorities. Okay, so we are going to look at each of these items uh, in depth, or rather, according to maybe not that in depth, but highlights of what they say they're going to do, particularly on each of those headings. Um, they said they're going to, in order to fight corruption, in order to help with this continuous existence as a nation, they're going to reform the anti-corruption agencies, which includes the EFCC, ICPC, and all the Cs, to ensure that issues of corruption are dealt with um, to conclusion within the shortest possible period. They also pledged to uphold the rule of law, so that impunity, which is what people have been complaining about, will be reduced. They also said they're going to uphold the tenets of good governance, which includes transparency, accountability, predictability, participation amongst all Nigerians. I have two accountability, so they are going to be double accountable. On security, they said they're going to take another approach uh, rather than the kinetic, where you rely more on the police and soldiers. They would like to put more emphasis on diplomacy, intelligence gathering, improved border control, and also the use of traditional institutions. Also, they're going to encourage good neighborliness in the fight of especially insurgency. They are also going to restructure and decentralize the security institutions to states so that each state can manage its security situation, its security personnel, so they will be able to understand more their local issues, while the federal government deals more with issues of national security. They are also going to ensure that they promote regional security cooperation, just as it's also currently being done. We can say that they're going to strengthen it more and bring better strategies into it, because it's been found that most of the security issues that we have are related to issues within states that are across our borders. On poverty, which is directly related to the economy and also jobs, they said they're going to allow the private sector to take leadership of the economy, and they'll give us the path to economic growth, and by so doing, they're going to create jobs and also reduce poverty. Government is only going to support them while they in that effort of the leadership. They also talked about allowing market forces to determine prices of key commodities. This was actually not mentioned, but generally we know that one of the major things they're talking about is the petrol prices, where we spend billions or trillions of naira in a year to giving subsidies, which in the end does not give an efficient system. So they're going to allow market forces to determine key prices so that it will reduce government interventions, which costs the government a lot of money. They also said they are going to break the monopoly of government uh, to invest in key sectors. I'm sure you may be familiar with the concurrent, exclusive, and so on list of the federal government. What this means is that they're going to reduce the number of items that are on the exclusive list of the federal government and allow private sector to take care of some of those items. Like they are looking at the rail lines. The targets is to have about 5,000 kilometers um, of rail lines within the country within their period of their tenure. On public education, they said they are going to establish a national research and development fund where people can have access to it. They didn't talk about the modalities, of course, those ones are operational. So people can have access to research and development funds to develop Nigerian grown technology uh, and also help in creating new products for the world that will help us in our exports. They also said they are going to focus more on vocational and technical education, which is going to assist in bringing new products within the country, which they hope is going to reduce the level of importation into the economy, thereby saving our foreign reserve. They also said they're going to bridge the educational inequalities, especially between males and females, and also the physically challenged. I also hope that they are going to look at the disparity between the educational system between the North and the South and see how they can bridge that gap. Um, they said they're going to increase investment in education. It's always been said that Nigeria's investment in education is not enough, as it falls below what UNICEF recommends for schools. I mean, as percentage of um, the GDP, I mean, the budget. They're going to also introduce technology support programs so that we can meet the current needs that are being filled by foreigners. So we're going to have more Nigerians trained so that we can provide local manpower for our technology needs. On the federal structure, they feel they are going to allow the federal government to manage the unity while the regions determine their priorities. They also said they're going to grant more financial autonomy to local governments. Thank you very much. This is the much that I can get for you from the document My Covenant with Nigeria as presented by Atiku Abubakar. Thank you. My name is Datong Dominic Guaman.